Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Animac here from Anime Uproar, and welcome to a brand new episode of the One Piece Virgin Podcast. In this episode, we're discussing the Sabaody arc, I guess. And joining me today is our boy Tekking101 back in the house.
How you doing? It's been a while.
Tekking, great to have you. How do we pronounce this?
Okay, so I've been going, yeah. Originally,
it's the safe way. Just ask Tekking.
When I first saw the word, I pronounced it Sabaody or something like that. That is not accurate. The dub goes with Sabaody, so that's what I go with. Sabaody.
I just change my pronunciation of it every time just to confuse the haters.
Or you could just call it the Bubble Island or Bubble Fun Time Island. You could just do that. I don't care.
I like Bubble Fun Time Island.
Either is perfectly accepted by the fan base.
Also joining me today are, of course, Nux and Briggs.
Nux and Briggs!
See, Briggs isn't even into it anymore, I feel.
Oh, Briggs is tired, man.
I think he's just like, he feels
it's been
obligated.
A long day. It's been a long journey to get here.
Unfortunately, poor Briggs, his house died like 2 or 3 times today.
Bruh, I am praying. God. I am praying that this stream goes smoothly. The amount of freaking headaches. It never stopped. There's always something. But anyway,
oh my God,
One Piece boys.
You're cutting out. We can't hear anything you're saying.
No, he's lying. Okay.
I didn't believe him for a second. Don't worry.
You're okay, Briggs.
No, Briggs is good.
I'm happy to talk One Piece and get myself into a better mood. We got Tekking, the king of One Piece, back.
The Dark King.
The Dark King. Ooh.
No, the Dark King shows up in this arc, though, so that's pretty
Yeah, he does.
I know, right?
It's been a crazy arc. Can't wait to get into it. Of course, if you guys do support the podcast, share it with your friends. Give us a rating. 5 out of 5 stars really helps us get the podcast promoted out there. It helps a lot. And yeah, thank you for your support. Well, let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. So first of all, we discussed last week maybe taking a break and kind of summing up our experiences so far in One Piece, but I saw a lot of people saying in the comments on YouTube and on Twitch that they want us to keep going until this saga ends and then do the whole summing up our thoughts and experiences. So I guess
good thing you listen to the comments as opposed to listening to Nux and Briggs.
No, the comments said, trust your crew, Animac, meaning you guys.
Trust your crew.
I will trust you, yes.
You're going to get to a point that's perfect for stopping and reflecting very soon.
Yeah.
So you'll be good.
Yeah, so we'll do that, then we'll push through until that time. And this was crazy. So a lot of people were talking about saying that we didn't mention these shadows in the mist with like eyes looking at the Straw Hats as they were leaving Thriller Bark. But that's because that actually happened in the chapter after last arc. So the first chapter we read for this week had these giant shadows looking at the Straw Hats, but it was never explained what they were. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and speaking of giant shadows, this week's episode is going to be from chapters 490 to 513, and next week we're doing the Amazon Lily arc, which is 514 to 524. It's only 10 chapters, but that's how we're doing it, and everyone will survive.
Yeah, it's probably best because the 2 arcs after that get really long, so it's probably just to do Amazon Lily by itself.
Yeah, because the next one's 24 chapters, so like you can't really cut that at all.
Yeah,
Amazon Lily is such a small, chill arc, but it's so much fun. I actually love it.
Yeah, I like the arc too.
Yeah, we need a small chill arc, guys. There's been a lot of excitement lately in this story.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, so an interesting thing that happens at the beginning of this arc is we have the Mermaid Cami, who was actually introduced in the cover stories way back.
Yes.
She makes an appearance when she accidentally lands on the ship after they hit one of those giant beasts. They hit him in the stomach, and it turns out that Cami and this starfish dude, were eaten by the fish, and then they come out and on top of the Straw Hat ship, and then that's where the whole adventure begins. And it's quite interesting. We also meet Hachi again.
Yes.
Is he an octopus?
He is an octopus fishman, yes.
Octopus fishman back from Arlong Park. He was his first mate. Then he kind of got away after that whole thing. Started a new life, making octopus fritters, hanging out with mermaids, doing his thing. But then we meet him once again because he was kidnapped And the Straw Hats decide to rescue him, not knowing who he is, because Cami says that it's their friend and they want to help her. And then it turns out that a guy leading the Flying Fish Riders, who are basically like Harley riders, but flying fish.
Yeah.
A leader called Duval. Who's a man in an iron mask. He is
Edgiest man
introduced.
alive.
And it's so funny. It's so funny because for like
I think it's even funnier when they meet Hachi at first, because his introduction to Zoro, he's like, Zoro, I'm so sorry my sixth sword style hurt you so badly. He's like, no, I don't think you ever hurt me. It's like, oh no, man, I cut you up pretty bad. No, that never happened.
I mean,
the whole thing is like.
And Duval himself, I mean, Duval has a gun that fires harpoons. I mean, he's stronger than Eneru. I mean, you can't compare to that.
Man, the thing about Duval is for like 6 chapters, we're getting this tease that Duval is wearing this mask. He knows the Straw Hats. They ruined his life. So I'm thinking, like, who is it? Is this Buggy? Is this like a major character we knew from before? Is it like Wapol? Who is it, right? And then it turns out that he just looks exactly like Sanji's stupid wanted poster.
Which, you know, you gotta feel for the guy. You really do. That does suck.
He's just sitting there, he's chilling, he's having an ordinary life. All of a sudden, his face is part of this infamous pirate crew.
Bro, but
and that ruins his life.
It's okay. Sanji made it up for him by smashing his face in and changing his bone structure.
Yeah, he did such a great job. He ended up looking amazing. And then every time he winks, he I love Duval so much. That wink is one of my favorite parts of One Piece. Okay? Yep, like I'm not even over exaggerating. I've used that wink back when I used to edit my own videos. All the videos had that wink.
I'm doing it now. You can't see it, but I'm very
it's beautiful.
Man, I absolutely love that moment when, you know, the anticipation of like him taking off his mask and what is it? What's going on? And then he's like, I'm not even a pirate. You guys ruined my life. I laughed out loud.
I'm a little bit less worried about him because he was like a gangster in a small town before all this happened, and then he's like, oh, okay, well now this is going on. But hey, he seems like he's doing pretty good. He's got a pretty badass giant base out in the middle of the ocean, you know, and he's got a bunch of like, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was so funny, that whole reveal. I laughed out loud. And I also laughed out loud when Luffy falls in the water. He's riding that flying fish, and the fish goes in the water, and he falls in. And the first 2 people that go to rescue him, that jump in, are Chopper and Brook. Who also have devil fruits. So then they have to save all 3 of them.
Meme. I love that. It's like a meme. It comes from like their heart, you know? It's like, no, the captain. They immediately jump off to save him, right? But it's like so emotional. But it's also
Animac,
so funny.
I wanted to get your opinion on something also. I think it's the first time it happens in this arc. Brook uses his music to actually knock people out, like the sound itself.
Yeah, like a lullaby. Yeah, and then he also knocks out Luffy, right?
Yeah, he could use the sound from his music to actually affect people in battle, which is great.
Yeah. So that was cool, and also there was a lot of humor in those like first like 6 chapters, and then we get into some crazy action.
Man, I love how One Piece does that. It's like it has no equal when it comes to like it lulls you into a false sense of security and it shatters you.
Yeah, I think for the second, this arc is going to all about like Duval, and like the whole point of it is going to be like his grudge against the Straw Hats. But yeah, it gets resolved pretty quickly. Yeah.
So, and there was a lot of world building, which is very important for this arc. We had the reveal of the world government capital being located on top of the red line, like this massive wall.
Yeah.
And that's the only official way to enter the new world with permission from the government. But then there's also an unofficial way through a hole in the wall and through Fishman Island. We also learned that the Sabaody Archipelago or Archipelago is a popular stopping point for travelers to the new world. So it's a lot of people visit it. But also it's often visited by world government nobles, and we meet these celestial dragons who are descendants of the 20 kings who banded together to create the world government 800 years ago, and they are these like completely entitled garbage pieces of shit who treat everyone like trash, wear like these spacesuit looking things.
And the worst part is you can't even touch them. They could do whatever they want.
Yep.
Yeah, and the other thing that I found very messed up about Sabaody is that they have slave trade there. Basically, they have human trafficking, and even though technically it's not allowed according to the world government knows about it but pretends it's not happening.
Oh yeah, I love. There's one scene where the Marines are talking about the auction house. It happens later in the arc, but they're like, "Sir, the auction house. I mean, the Human Employment Office is under attack by pirates." You know, like the Marines are told, like, don't call it the auction house, call it the Human Employment Office. That's how it works.
Yeah, so that told me they clearly know, but they're pretending like they don't. Yeah. No, but it's such a great setup for an arc because you have all these notorious new generation pirates have all gathered at this archipelago, including
Supernovas.
Including Captain Kidd and Trafalgar Law, who looks like this hipster dude from like Portland, Oregon. I don't know, but
so
okay.
Animac, I was told to ask you who is your favorite supernova so far. You've been introduced to Bonnie, Capone. You got what's it called? You got Kidd, you got Law, you got Hawkins, you got Apu. Who do you like?
If your answer's not Law, you're wrong. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's just how it is. But I mean, first, like, yeah, you have to talk. So we met a little bit of all of them. What I found interesting.
Nux, thank you for answering the question for me, but I think I was asked the question.
We only have a brief amount of information about them so far, so I want to hear his genuine first impression. Who he likes the most, or who is he like?
So I do think Law is really cool. I don't understand his devil fruit yet, but he's cool. I don't like his character design though, because his outfit is just lame to me. Like I said, he looks like a hipster from like Portland, Oregon. But I think Kidd has like a sick design.
Oh, he's awesome. He's based off of like a heavy metal. His whole crew look like heavy metal rockers from like the 80s. It's great.
Yeah, and I also love that the second Luffy used his arm of a giant, Kidd kind of showed him up.
Yep.
Dude, I think off of just this arc, Kidd was my favorite so far, and then obviously things changed along the way. But I loved Kidd.
I like Law.
I love his character design.
I also have a soft spot for Hawkins. I just like the way he uses his tarot cards to like.
Honestly, I was never a huge Hawkins fanboy.
I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm a fanboy, but I find him very interesting as a character.
I thought that this whole arc was interesting because I didn't remember it actually showcasing each supernova the way it did.
Yeah.
Like, you right away had like one of those Tenryubito guys, one of the Celestial Dragon. He's just walking down the street picking his nose, and Zoro's about to slice him to bits because he doesn't like him.
I love that. Oh yeah, he asked him like, "Hey, are you lost? Do you need directions or something?"
Yeah, right. Because Zoro's the man who knows directions.
Yeah.
And Bonnie jumps on him and like pulls him out of the way and like puts fake blood everywhere. Like,
yeah, Bonnie is really cool because she's kind of like a Revy type girl. So, you know, I got to respect that. And I did like that Capone guy's crazy devil fruit where he like makes people miniature.
Yeah,
that was nuts.
That's there's a lot of stuff complicated with that, but it's a great fruit. I love it. Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. There's a great scene where Kizuru is fighting them, and he's just like, "Man, you supernovas are all like weird. You have weird monster powers or whatever, because they all have these really unusual devil fruits, right?"
Every single one of them.
Yeah, we get introduced to ancient zones in this arc with Drake becoming not a dragon, a dinosaur. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. We do see that. We see, I think, Bonnie's devil fruit is like turning people into old men or kids.
Yeah, she can age people forward or backward. Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. Yes, there was a lot of cool stuff. And like a real crazy moment for me was, so when they first go to the archipelago, they need to get their boat coated so that it would be able to go underwater. And just casually, the one former pilot lady innkeeper is like, "Oh yeah, so the ship coder Riley, he's 100 times stronger than you straw hats."
Yeah.
And they're like, "What?"
Rayleigh,
and then we learn...
Rayleigh. It's Rayleigh. I'm just gonna right away.
Just before like we say his name a million times and then the comment section goes to shit.
Yeah, it's Rayleigh. Okay. Or you just call him Ray. It's Rayleigh. It's fine.
Rayleigh.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then we learned that he has insane hockey. He just makes people pass out like Shanks did.
Yep.
And he was on Goldie Roger's ship. In fact, he was the Pirate King's right-hand man, bro.
How crazy is that?
And I love it how it's chapter 500 at the very end. You just see it just gets dropped out of nowhere. Here's Silver's Rayleigh, the right-hand man of Goldie Roger. Like, what the fuck? Okay, I guess we're going with this then.
Yeah, because when he's first introduced in the auction house, you have no idea who he actually is. It's later mentioned, right?
Yeah, you
get a title card when you first see him.
Oh, you get a title card previously. My bad.
Yeah, but he is like this old dude. It seems like this just chill old dude. Oh, I got kidnapped. They're gonna sell me or something. And then he turns out to be like this epic badass.
You know what the best part is? Okay, little throwback to chapter 19. Me and Nux were freaking out about this. We were freaking out in one of the One Piece Virgin episodes, but we couldn't say why.
Yeah.
Oh, bruh, we saw Buggy and Shanks, and we learned that they were a part of the Pirate King's crew, and we saw a flashback. Yes. Bruh, Rayleigh was in that image.
Yep, the same beard with the lines coming off. It's a very interesting goatee style Rayleigh has.
Yeah.
We were losing it at the time. We were both just like jumping, like what? No,
because neither of us knew. Like we didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't remember.
That's the great thing about doing. Well, I knew about that, but it's a great thing about watching or reading the early chapters and seeing just how much he freaking foreshadowed with everything, you know. And it'll continue into the later chapters as well. It's great.
It's amazing, and I mean, we got so much world building in this arc. We learned from Rayleigh that Goldie Roger didn't get captured. He actually voluntarily turned himself in 3 years after he got this like terminal illness, apparently. Yes. He disbanded his crew 3 years later after learning about the illness. Then 1 year after that, he turned himself in voluntarily to the world government. And then when they were going to publicly execute him, his last words sparked the new golden age of pirates, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because you got to wonder, who's the mad lad that actually captured this guy?
Yeah.
Answer? No.
We're always led to believe it was Garp, but then you understood. I mean, the Marines might have eased because the Marines wanted to save face, so they might have just said, "Oh yeah, Garp captured Roger." You know, just to.
But it must have been terrifying at that final like moment when they're about to execute the man, and he's just smiling.
Yeah, you'd be like, okay, this is terrifying,
man."
Also,
I love the exposition in this arc. I thought it did such a great job.
I love it because when the Straw Hats meet Rayleigh, it's like, okay, there's no reason why they would not ask him about all this stuff. But the way it's handled is actually fairly well. Like, Robin straight up asks him about the Void Century, and Rayleigh's like, yeah, if you want to know, I can tell you, but just understand, you know, you should probably learn it on your own. And
but the moment he said that, and then Usopp was like, "Oh hell yeah, tell us."
Yeah.
And then it zooms out, and you hear Luffy screaming, "Usopp!" Like, you moron! How could you even say something like that?
Like, it ruins the entire journey, the adventure. I don't want to be a pirate if I know what the One Piece is.
Usopp, do you want this manga to end right now? No, that's not what we do.
He says, "I'm not going on a boring adventure."
Yeah,
and then they're like, "But Luffy, if you get this, you're gonna control the world or whatever." And he's like, "I don't want to control the world."
Rayleigh's just like, "Yeah, turns out the One Piece is a lifetime supply of like free fish or something." I'd be like, "Oh." Like, here's the thing that I love about Luffy's character, though. Luffy himself does probably not really give a shit what the One Piece is. Like, they could get to the final island, and the One Piece is just like a note that Roger left. That's like, the adventure was the real treasure. Luffy just wants to have an epic adventure, so the end of it is not like. But he just doesn't want to know about it. That's the point, you know?
No, I mean, I get that. And from a narrative perspective, it makes a lot of sense because it keeps the mystery going.
Yeah.
But to me, personally, I would never have done that. I would be like, yo, give me the info, bro. Give me the info.
Yeah, but you're not Luffy.
Yeah, you're not Luffy.
And you have to appreciate who Luffy is. You're clearly a much more intellectual mastermind than Luffy.
Okay, so fair enough, but doesn't Robin also say she doesn't want to know?
No, Robin is listening to her captain. She doesn't say anything. All she said was like, "Yo, what's the will of D? We've seen this poneglyph stuff. What's been happening?" And Rayleigh doesn't say anything except for, we knew all of history. And then he's just silent. And Robin's just like, what?
Yeah, well, he says to her, first off, Robin asks about the poneglyph at Sky Island, the one that Roger carved. And she's like, "You guys were pirates. How did you know that language?" And Rayleigh's like, "Oh, he could just hear the voice of all things, or the voice of the universe. That's what Roger could do. But yeah, we're not scholars." Like, he even mentions Clover in the O'Hara incident and everything. But he also goes on to say, he tells Robin, he's like, "I'll tell you what we know, but it's probably best you learn about it on your own because you can't change anything. And if I tell you now, you might look at it differently than what if you traveled on your own and figured it out yourself. Like, your perspective might be different if you actually finish your journey." So that's why Robin decides just to sit down and just, finish out the journey with the Straw Hats.
Yeah, like to me, I was kind of thinking Robin, having dedicated her whole life to this, would be more into learning more. But
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of a good parallel to it. It's like
I think Animac, you're not in it for the spirit of the adventure. What can I say? Rayleigh would have never offered you the information. Let's just put it that way.
well, that's like saying, oh, Erwin was just randomly like, you know what? I don't care what's in the basement.
What?
It's not the
Wait,
same
wait,
at all.
how do you
Yeah, how
know
is
what's
that That's the worst example I've ever heard.
No, but I do understand where Animac's coming for Robin at the very least, right? With Luffy, like, not at all. 100%. Luffy, like, I don't think he actually cares about getting the One Piece. He just wants to go on an adventure and find the One Piece. That's his goal. That's his dream.
Yeah,
if you tell him in an easy way, that's not the point. He wants to sail around the world, go on epic adventures with his Nakama, you know? He wants to be the Pirate King, not for, like, the status, because he thinks that's the freest man in the world.
Exactly. That's his goal. Yeah.
And I think Robin has gone to the point where she trusts Luffy. So if Luffy says, "Hey, don't find anything else. We got to figure it out do it ourselves, right? And do this adventure ourselves and do it and not just get an easy way out." I think Robin respected that, you know?
Brig goes spitting.
I get it for sure. Personally, I would take
Animac, that's it.
World
Yes.
Domination.
Also, I would pay attention to Shaki because she's pretty awesome.
Oh, the
Yes,
former pirate bar lady.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
We find this out in an SBS. It's not even integral to the story, so it doesn't count as a spoiler. They're not officially married, but the way that Shaki refers to Rayleigh, they refer to each other in Japanese in like a term as like the person of my household. It's basically the way that you would refer to your husband or your wife in Japan. That's how they refer to each other. So they're kind of living together. It doesn't really play a role in the story. Yeah,
and she doesn't look old, but apparently she is old.
She's in her 60s.
Yeah, she's like his age kind of thing, right?
He's 78. She's in her 60s.
So I guess technically then she is a younger girl for him.
Yes.
So...
Yeah, Rayleigh's pushing. I want you to put that in mind.
Ideal Animac waifu. This is like hot MILF to the extreme.
All the shit Rayleigh does in this arc, he's pushing 80 years old. I love it. That's how strong he is.
The first time I remember reading this, and I saw him block Kizuru's attack in an instant, I was just floored. Like, bro, that's one of the coolest panels ever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Whitebeard is also like something like 80, right?
He is 76, I think. In this,
so him and Rayleigh are like close.
Yeah, Rayleigh was a year or two older than Roger. Rayleigh was actually older, I think, than Whitebeard, Garp, and Roger. I think he's the oldest.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it's cool. It's cool that he's still so epic and such an imposing figure at that age.
If this man would be in American politics, he would become the president. Easy.
I can see Rayleigh as the president. I can see him as the president.
At this point, you have to be 80 plus to even run for American president.
Rayleigh with like a fancy ponytail and like getting his hair slicked back with a ponytail and running for office. I can see that.
So we didn't mention
all of a sudden, he's in this debate room with a bunch of other politicians, unleashes, conquers, hockey. They all just faint.
No. The real reason Rayleigh would win is because he has clout. Clearly, that's all that matters.
He does have clout. Yo, his tweets
he's like, bro, I'm Yo, you know what he would say? He'd be like, bro, I was Goldie Rogers' vice president. You got to vote for me. Everyone loves Roger.
This dude it's insanity, man. The way, we should probably go in order. First, they talk about there are all these different dudes, auction house thing, and then...
so what we have to talk about is the big thing that kind of drives the plot in this direction is the fact that Cami, the mermaid, is kidnapped.
Yes.
Because mermaids fetch a lot of money on this black market of human trafficking. And then we learned that 200 years ago, all fishmen were actually classified as fish and weren't treated as human. But because they were so powerful, eventually the world government agreed to see them as humans. Yeah. However, in this archipelago specifically, they still kind of do not see them as human. And they consider them as like a subhuman and
subhumans or a subrace. Sabaody is so weird because there's it's like a tourist attraction. There's like a amusement park there, but then also like just slavery auction is just a thing, you know. And I'm like, it's such a weird juxtaposition of these things in this place, you know.
Yeah, and so there's like a part of it, the area that is under control of the world government, and there's like other part that's like lawless. And
Yeah, the
also
lawless
kind of
zone. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. So that was the big thing that triggers everything. And then when Cami is kidnapped, everyone decides we have to save her. But they're warned over and over again: you cannot get in the way of a celestial dragon. You cannot in any way hurt a celestial dragon. If that happens, an admiral will be fetched from Marine headquarters to destroy everything. And of course, in what is one of the most satisfying punches that I've ever seen, Luffy knocks out the celestial dragon Charlos or whatever after he shoots Hachi. Oh, that was so good.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful for one thing.
I mean, we have to show you the anime clip of that.
I saw it.
Oh yeah,
I went.
It's great.
So guys, I went and I saw the clip of the anime because I needed to see it.
I was about to say this is
so
another
good.
scene. This is another scene where I prefer the anime version to the manga. Manga does it really well as well. But you get the
so
slow walk up the stairs with the music in the background. Luffy dodges 2 bullets, I think, and then he throws a punch so freaking hard that he hit him so hard that he turned the anime into a manga.
It went black and white, and that punch is so freaking satisfying. I can't tell you how amazing it felt to watch him punch that prick.
Oh.
And what's even funnier is after he punched the life force out of that man. And the second he finished, Zoro's like, he puts his sword back in his sheath. He was like, damn it, I would have sliced him to bits in a second. Like, he was on the same page. And it's everyone in the room was freaking out. Even the Supernovas were kind of spooked, except for Law and Kid. And even then that panel with the 3 captains standing there. Bro. The 3 captains standing up against the entire thing.
Yeah, so you have to really
against
appreciate
the whole army.
This is the first time we met the celestial dragons, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in this arc, and yet already Oda makes us hate them so much that it's so satisfying for Luffy to punch him. It's as if these guys were like causing shit since the beginning of the story. It's that satisfying when we see him punch him. And yeah, everyone's like, oh my god, how this is crazy. And Kid and Law were just kind of like, yeah, we knew he was crazy. He's really crazy.
Yeah, I love the reaction on everybody's face is just because this has literally been the status quo for 800 years. You do not touch the celestial dragons. Luffy just punches one in the face. They're like, like they're acting like God is gonna come down from heaven and smite everybody as soon as that happens. Like, oh shit, we're all dead. We need to get out of here. You know?
Yeah, it was beautiful. And then in the commotion that ensues, what happens?
Scarier.
Hold on, Nux. In the commotion that ensues, what happens is the giant and Rayleigh, they break out too, and then all the other pirates like Kid and Law are also blamed for it. So that's when Nux, the scene you were talking about, happens where Luffy, Kid, and Law, the 3 captains, have to face down an army of Marines. And now, if you want to take that away.
And then you have the 3 of them standing there, and Luffy's like, "All right, you guys, you just stand back." And Kid's like, "No, I got this. You 2, you get it."
Yes.
And Law's like, "You gotta tell me what to do one more time. I'll slice your balls off, brother." And when all the Marines, they start attacking, and they're like shooting cannons, and none of the 3 of them are even phased a little by this. And they're like, "All right, guys, this is it. These are 3 captains." And dude, 3 goddamn captains. But what I was actually going to talk about was a little before that, which is why I before you interrupted me, as you constantly do. I would never interrupt you, so obviously I'm very offended by something like this. But the second Luffy punched the celestial dragon dude, you had a certain someone by the holy land of Marijor, like sweating. What's his name? God damn, I forget his name.
Roswald?
The Fleet Admiral. Fleet Admiral.
Oh, Sengoku.
Sengoku. He's like, God, that brat, that whole family of misfits. God damn it. He knows the whole family. You know, it's Garp, Dragon, and Luffy. And he's just like, what is wrong with these people? And then it cuts to Doflamingo. And Doflamingo's like, ooh, the Whitebeard Pirates versus the Shichibukai. And it's like, Nani? What is he referring to?
Oh yeah, so there was a big reveal too that
all in all, and then you had
there was a big reveal that the Marines the world government is planning to publicly execute Ace.
Yeah.
So they're not going to keep him in prison. They're going to publicly execute him, which is an overt act of war against the Whitebeard pirates. So the government is trying to start a war.
Yeah. I mean, that's already been alluded to. Yeah, that's what they're gearing up for, yeah. What did you think of Law's Devil Fruit ability, Animac? How do you categorize that one?
The only thing I saw was he was able to like remove people's body parts with them staying alive.
He sure can.
What?
Dude, the way it started off, he grabs some marine guy, he grabs his face and slices his head off, and we're like, oh my god, since when was One Piece so gory? And then the head just starts screaming.
Kids, we don't know. We still don't know the name of Kids, but it's easy to understand. He controls magnetic forces. It's easy enough to understand. Laws, people had no freaking idea what the because every devil fruit has like a basis, like a theme, okay? And like nobody could really like what is Law's theme at first. And it's like it makes sense once you find it out, but you have to learn a little bit more about Law. You know, it's great though. I love it.
Yeah, so when he first just like takes out his sword and cuts the guy's head off, I'm like, okay, so this guy doesn't fuck around.
No, he doesn't.
I was like, okay, so this guy just killed this dude, but then he was still alive. I was like, oh, okay, this is more One Piece style. But yeah, man, those dragons getting those celestial dragons getting crushed was so satisfying. And then Usopp ends up landing on the other guy, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, dude." And he's like, "They did it again. They did it to another guy." Yeah, but there was never a world in which people like Luffy and Zoro were not going to attack those guys.
Yeah, Zoro did it originally as well, and Bonnie saved him. Did we mention that?
Yes, we did.
Like Zoro did not hesitate for a second.
It's great because like that shows like even after all the stuff we learned about the Tenry Beat Tail, Luffy is still Luffy. He's not going to be like, oh, okay, I can't punch them. All right, I guess I'll stay my hand this one time. Nope, bam. You know.
I mean, I'm sure you came to regret it once we got the Pacifistas and they all got.
Well, yeah, but you know, you got to keep moving forward if you're Luffy.
I mean,
Adamac, what did you think about that last chapter? I don't know if I'm jumping ahead too far.
Yeah, we should probably talk about Kizuru before we get to that point.
Okay,
yeah.
Kizuru, let's do it.
Yeah, so we have the Admiral Kizuru, who looks like he's a dude from like the 70s, but
yeah, they're all based off of old actors from Japanese films from like the 50s and stuff. That's all the admirals are based off. Aokichi is based off one too, and the third one we'll meet later.
I also love that he joined the fight flying in on standing on a cannonball.
Yep.
Right?
He has one of the
flies in. He's standing there.
Yeah, so he is a light Logia fruit, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
isn't that terrifying?
We kind of spoiled for you when talking about Enel and comparing them.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's still crazy. Like, I don't know, like the two of them in some ways are I guess would be similar because Enel's should also be the speed of light, but
or lightning, which is slightly slower or whatever.
Speed of lightning, which is like I actually had to calculate this for a video, and the speed of lightning is way slower than the speed of light. But yeah, that's a debate for another day, whether or not Kizuru can actually travel at the speed of light, because that raises so many problems.
Oh yeah,
but he can travel freaking fast as hell. He's the fastest character.
I mean, not really. I mean, Foxy's photon attack. Foxy's photon attack is photons, which is light speed. So Luffy's faster than light as is. So I like to think that Kizuru wouldn't exactly.
The entire universe is like runs at light speed. So honestly, Enel's lightning is only good for its destructive capabilities. Almost as fast as Keemstar, like you said. He's fast as fuck. He's fast as fuck, boy.
I think realistically,
no, but when the
but more importantly than him being
started rolling in.
Yeah.
Is my internet cutting out? Like, am I cutting out like crazy?
Not really.
I don't know. Maybe you are, but we're not realizing it.
Yeah.
Or like it's delayed or something.
Yeah, I was talking 98% of this time so far. So were you hearing the full 98%?
Sometimes I will say there is sometimes when you talk and there is like a bit of dead noise. But
yeah, or we're amazed by what he said. But
yeah, we're just in awe.
No, I think in terms of like writing any character with light speed, it's almost impossible to do it because it's such an insane speed in real life. Like it's so hard to actually make it realistic.
But beyond that, I mean, he can also make light swords, light projectiles. He can make he can just blind people with light, which you feel like he should do that more often. That's a very useful ability. But my favorite scene with Kizuru is when he talks to Hawkins, because Kizuru is so chill. He never know what he's gonna do. He just walks up to Hawkins and he's like, "Hey, do you know where this guy named Sentomaru's at?" And Hawkins is like, "I don't know him." And he's like, then he just kicks him upside the head at the speed of light and just knocks him into a wall. And then just like, yeah, I love it.
No, but before he even answered it, he took out his cards. He was like, 0% chance of victory, 18% chance of escape, 76% chance of defensive maneuvers. He was like calculating all that stuff. And then he's like, no. He just kicks him in the face.
Yeah. You think he should be getting up and hauling ass at that point. But, he's just like, nah, I'm just going to sit here and finish my fortune telling.
Yeah.
Well,
honestly, rereading this, I didn't remember that Hawkins used his straw power here.
To hold up the cards, or against Kizuru. Yeah, he uses that in the manga. Yeah, the Gamu no So ability. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. That's when Kizuru says, "Oh, supernovas are a bunch of like monsters." That's when he says, "Yeah."
Yeah, I was overall surprised at how every single supernova got time to shine in this arc. Like, I did not remember that at all. I thought that, I remember the big scene of Law, Luffy, and Kid standing there with, like, Luffy's arms crossed, like everyone in this really cool pose. That I remembered clearly. I didn't remember seeing Beige's double fruit here.
Yeah, you see it like a lot of times they just like Oda will just show what they can do with no context. Like a rouge, the same way a rouge can grow really, really big, but we don't know like how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so supernovas refers to these new pirates.
I remembered a rouge growing big.
Yeah.
Right. And it's weird new age pirates. Yes. And the coolest thing about introducing these people right now is you realize that this whole crazy adventure we're having with Luffy, there's 8 other people that are in the same status. Luffy's only the second highest bounty in the group.
Yeah, that was a cool reveal.
Kid has a bounty of 315 million.
Yeah. And that was explained because I
think that was amazing.
Yeah, Shaki explains the only reason it's that high is because he's a lot more like that scene. Okay, remember that scene in Jaya where everyone was laughing at Luffy? If that was Kid, he would have like burned down the freaking bar and just like killed everybody.
Yeah.
That's how Kid rolls. Yeah, Kid rolls like that. Yeah.
I get it, man.
Yeah,
you laugh at his.
It makes sense that he would have a higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
You realize that if you look at what
Nux, I think you're cutting out.
If you're looking at the crazy thing Luffy's done in the past, Luffy's taken down warlords. He's declared war on the world. You'd think he is the absolute amazing up and coming pirate. Everyone would think he is the up and coming pirate king. Like that's kind of how we expected Luffy's to be regarded among the world government, but he's the second.
And not even just the second.
He has the second most clout among the supernovas.
There's a whole group
that means
of supernovas.
The government's more scared of Kid.
Oh yeah,
but it's not even just the fact that he's just number 2. There's just a whole group of people like him. We thought he was gonna be a standout. Like, look how fast he grew from his tiny bounty or from no bounty. Like it hasn't been that long since he came to power. We thought he was coming up so fast. Meanwhile, there's so many other people that are like him, if not higher.
It's explained that all these other pirates, they took the different routes on the Grand Line, like at Reverse Mountain, they took the different paths. Mm-hmm. So some of them might have been traveling for a little while longer than Luffy, but the idea is that they all converge here. So they probably have all started relatively around the same time.
I thought that was a very cool touch. So we've followed obviously Luffy on his journey, and he's improved a lot and become much stronger and become such a threat. And then we learned that there's a bunch of other similar pirates who are also part of this new golden age, and I thought that was really, really great.
Oh yeah, you gotta have so do you want to move on to the the parts?
Yeah, so then we have a bunch of these clones of Kuma show up, who are these cyborg pacifistas, right?
They're Terminators.
Yeah, so they're basically, I don't know why Kuma in particular was selected to be cloned, but
we find out. It's you just roll with it.
Yeah, so then we have a bunch of them show up, and one of them is defeated by the Straw Hats, but like they expound all their energy to do it, and then just another one shows up, and it's like, oh shit! But then the real one shows up, and we know it's the real one because he has a Bible.
Yes, he has a Bible, and he has the fruit. Yeah. But yeah, that was such a because like the Straw Hats literally have like Frankie has to do the coup de vent and everybody has to do the strongest attacks, and then finally it's a combo attack between Luffy, Sanji, and Zoro, the monster trio, to take down the PX4, one of these damn things. And they're beat to shit, and they're like, all right, we should get out of here. And then another one shows up, and then Kuma's there, and then Sentomaru's there, and then Kizaru's there, and it's like, oh god.
Yeah, and then we had mention of Dr.
But let's
Vegapunk
also not
again.
forget that. Yes, but let's also not forget that when one of the Kumas like picked his hand up and shot a laser, you got Chopper and Luffy just like, oh, a laser! That's so cool! Oh my god, laser!
It is cool. I mean, if that was me in that situation, I'd be like, yeah, that's cool. We're all dead now, but that's cool.
Yeah, and so Dr. Vegapunk was again mentioned. This has been an ongoing thing now, ever since I think even either Thriller Bark beginning or even before that. I think even before that. And then we had Drake, who apparently was a former Marine, so he has inside knowledge. Even he was shocked by the amount of progress that Dr. Vegapunk has been making in creating these pacifistas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was definitely building up to some showdown against this mad scientist, dude.
Well, yeah, we still don't know anything about him. He's still like one of the big mysteries of One Piece.
I was
honestly.
gonna say I'm very excited to like meet Vegapunk and see who he actually is.
That's one of the big. I think everybody is. Everybody.
That's
can't
like
wait
up
to see
there.
what
Like I got like world history, the Void Century, and then like below that, like Vegapunk. Who is this guy? Like, is he Rick Sanchez?
I always every time I make a video about every time I make a video about a Vegapunk, I use Rick Sanchez as a stand-in because we don't know what he looks like in the thumbnail. I always use him in the thumbnail.
I would have assumed that he was like the villain of an upcoming arc, so I didn't realize.
Not as we know yet.
Yeah, but so this whole arc ends with the real Kuma apparently vanishing, the whole crew and one of the Pacifista things, like out of existence or somewhere else. I'm guessing he didn't just kill them all. I'm guessing that.
Oh no, they dead. Story's over.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Anyway, I'm guessing they were transported.
To pull out his dimensional transporter, and he'll Rick Sanchez up the entire multiverse to get them back. That's the only chance. Big sad.
I'm guessing they got transported to another location where Perona ended up as well. So we'll see. We'll see.
Ooh. This man connecting dots.
Yeah, because remember, Perona just disappeared randomly too as a result of Kuma.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding us, anime.
Yeah, well, I gotta remind you.
But I do think that there was that scene over there. Thanks, Animac. We love you. I do like that scene over there at the end when after he's touching them and basically Luffy's like on the ground. He doesn't even continue fighting. He's like, I couldn't even save a single one of them.
Yeah,
he touches Luffy, and Luffy
in the anime, it's such a sad scene because it's like happening at sunset, and it's just like it's really emotional. I was not reading One Piece weekly at this point. I read like a little bit after this was when I started, but I kind of wish I would have started around here because this would have been so powerful to read on a weekly. Imagine the cliffhanger and not knowing what the hell would happen after this.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. So you're right.
That image of Luffy saying I couldn't even save a single one.
Yeah. So I kind of stormed through that.
Take it away, Anime.
I was like, "What?" Yeah. By the way, Nox, I think you're delayed. So
you are delayed. Yes.
Be careful about because a lot of times you're talking over people because you're delayed. I kind of really rushed through reading that because I was like, "Yo, what's going on here? Oh, this panel, that panel." But if you saw it or you kind of took more time to take it in, yeah, that's crazy because Luffy at this point he probably thinks they're all dying. And that he couldn't save his crew, that his whole crew is dead. And now he's about to die, and he's like, what the fuck just happened? Like, how did it all go wrong so fast? What happened? But obviously, they're not dead. I doubt
they all got isekai'd.
Yep, they all got isekai'd into the Naruto universe.
That would be cool if they just got isekai'd to another world.
Hey,
that's actually...
Hey, Animac, remember when they said that they were on their way to Fishman Island, and then there was a ghost island, and then there was an island with bubbles, and then
you notice how there keeps being delays for that? Yeah, get used to that.
Yeah, so Fishman Island Ark is next, right, guys?
Yep. Actually, fun fact, they actually all just got sent to Fishman Island. They're all going to wake up on Fishman Island.
Finally, we're back on track, guys.
Yeah, he actually just sent them all to Laugh Tale.
Yep, it was that easy the whole time.
So I guess One Piece is kind of like Rant Cafe. They have like a general direction, but it always keep going all the way all over the place, and we're staying on topic.
And yeah, I mean, like the last scene of the arc too. I think it's the last chapter of the arc. It's just like, you know, on this day, the pirate crew led by Monkey D. Luffy was completely destroyed or annihilated. I like annihilated better. That's a much more
Eradicated is what
eradicated is fun too. Eradicated is fun too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, end of One Piece, everyone.
Yep. End of One Piece. You know, it was a fun ride. I really enjoyed it.
Next week next week we get to meet a goddess, my friends.
Yes, we do. The Empress and a goddess.
Oh yes.
I'm
Is
very
her
excited.
name Lily?
Her name is well, actually, we get to meet a
first
few
name
goddesses.
Amazon, last name Lily. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, her name is Lily. Yes. We actually get to meet a few goddesses. One's blonde. One has black hair.
Okay, the blonde is Khalifa.
You know what? Honestly, I think I would pick this girl over Khalifa. I think.
Oh, what? Okay, man. Challenge accepted because Khalifa right now is 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I love that blonde hair girl. This next arc has a bunch of waifus.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
yes. If you like tall girls, there's a tall girl that gets introduced. If you like thick girls, there's a thick girl that's getting.
Hey,
There's
I like a variety.
Then you're gonna be. Then it's gonna be a good time for you.
Nice. Oh, and by the way, in the cover stories, we got the CP9 people.
Well, my thing is cutting out. I
didn't
didn't hear anything you guys are saying. I love you guys, but I'm gonna have to dip.
Okay,
Take it
see
easy,
you, Nux.
Nuxie boy.
Bye, Nux.
Nux has to leave early. But yeah, so I just want to talk about the cover stories because a lot of people are big fans of the cover stories, and it turns out that they are often important. The ones for this arc were mostly focused on the CP9 guys kind of trying to get back on track after completely getting wrecked by the Straw Hat Pirates. And then at some point, they're like trying to get odd jobs to make enough money to treat Rob Lucci's injuries.
Yeah.
So that
they try to go back. They go back to their home island, and then at the end of it, they're like, well, actually, do we go through the whole? I don't want to spoil the whole thing. Did they go through the whole arc in this one? Hold on, let me look. At
I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure, but I do know that we got to see Khalifa, so I respect that. I think the last one I saw was like they were bowling.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're not at that point yet. I didn't know we were all the way. You're not all the way through it. Yeah, you have to keep reading it. It's a good cover page though. It's a good independent report. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of seeing my girl Khalifa, whatever.
And also, I mean, just in cover pages. I mean, Kami got introduced in this arc, and she first appeared in a cover page, and that's crazy. That's like, yeah, that's canon. Like Oda will incorporate that into the story.
Yeah. So we saw that on the cover pages way back, and I was thinking, okay, so that's just like a random thing, and then they actually stumble upon this character. I thought that was like a nice little surprise.
Yeah, it's great.
And of course, Sanji, bro.
Yeah, I love that.
She saves him, and she's like, oh no, he's bleeding. It's like, and he just has a nosebleed, and it's like, yeah.
Oh, good old Sanji.
If only Sanji could like stay focused on one chick to simp for like a month, he might actually get with her. But he's always simping for every chick.
Yeah, he tends to simp.
He's just a lover of Whammon. What can I say?
No, but like I really wish he would get some. I really wish he would get some.
Animac, maybe simping is like his fetish. Maybe that's what gets him off at night. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think so, but like I want him to get some, but you can't if you're gonna keep going for different girls all the time. No girl's gonna want to be with you because she's like, oh yeah, he's just gonna go to the next one, and like as soon as he sees another hot girl. So you gotta stay focused, bro.
Animac, on the plus side, his dream is now restored. His image of a mermaid was looking like Kokoro, and now we got Kami, who just completely redeemed her, like Fishman or mermaids.
I'm just gonna say Kami, guys, because Kami sounds weird to me.
Yeah, it's always I say Kami, but it's fine. It's whatever.
And yeah, it was funny how Zoro, he just like blocked Kokoro from his mind.
They just Zoro, who's not like he's not like obsessing over women a lot. He's like, oh, a mermaid, huh? I've never met one, and then just like Kokoro just fades from his psyche.
That's that samurai discipline, bro. He can just erase parts of his memories.
Yep. That's his ultimate ability. Yep. All
right, guys. Before we end this episode, anything that we have to also mention that we haven't mentioned that's important that
in the actual arc?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think we covered upon pretty much everything major. There's a small arc, a tiny arc, but a lot of stuff happens here.
Oh yeah, yeah. So much stuff happens. Like I find that often with shorter arcs,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff ends up happening, especially with the world building stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm
next
really-
week, guys, is only 11 chapters. Covers Amazon Lily, 514 to 524.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I really want to learn more about these, the Void Century, these Celestial Dragons, how they came about, these 20 kings. Like,
Well,
oh.
you might.
Yo, same, Animax, same.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. See you again next week. Tekking101, bro. Love you. Appreciate you.
Thank you. I would love to be back for maybe not the next arc, but the arc after that. That would be something I'd be interested in. Yeah,
For sure. It's our pleasure.
Thank you.
Guys, everyone check out Tekking101 on YouTube, Twitter, and everywhere else.
I just did a video on Rayleigh yesterday, so this works out great. So
Nice.
there you go.
I can't watch it, but I recommend it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got the start of the fight between Rayleigh and Kizuru. I'm guessing this fight is still going on. But
no, you'll have to find out. Yeah, this is how it goes.
Okay, we'll see. Cool. Thank you guys for watching. Briggs as well. Nux had to go early, but we love him too. And until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.
Bang!
See you later.
Awesome, guys. By the way, chat, now that we're done, let's raid web novel, people.
Raid wubble.
Oh, yeah, so talking about our novel that we're writing, right?
Yeah, you write the novel, yeah.
A link in the chat, guys. We're on I'm working on chapter 10 right now, and it's a lot of stuff, and your character will be introduced.
Oh, good. I was going to ask. I didn't want to ask because I didn't want to be like, hey, am I in this? And you're like, no. I'm like, oh, damn. But yeah,
No,
thank you.
You are. And I think you like it, but it's you got to build up to it, right? It's like
absolutely.
You got to do the world building, but definitely Tekking.
I will make sure to check out the next chapter then.
No, I'll let you know when it is.
Okay. All right,
We
gotcha.
still have a few chapters to go right now. We are aboard a flying dragon train, and a fight is happening.
I thought you guys were a truck.
Yeah. The truck can be parked onto the dragon train. It's like
thank God. Okay, good.
Yeah, so what happened was, now that I've been reading One Piece, I'm like, okay, I can't have them just traveling by truck the whole time. I need to, Oda it up. So one of the ways you can travel in that world is there's a giant dragon, and there's like a platform strapped to its back, and that platform is like a train with like train cars and everything, and you can even bring like vehicles on it. And now that's where the action is.
Awesome. Everyone in the chat's like, you need to include Barry in this somehow.
Yeah, he's got to be carrying a brick with him.
Yeah, just have a brick as a throne or something. That'll be fine.
Who is Barry? I'm not.
Barry is okay. He's a brick. He's literally a brick with googly eyes and a smile painted on his face. He's been my sidekick for like a year.
He's Yonko
because
level.
he is. He's an admiral right now.
Okay.
But
So this is just like a Tekking.
Literally watch any of my videos. You'll see him hanging out on the side.
Okay, so it's not like an inner One Piece reference that I'm not getting.
No, it's not a One Piece reference. It's just he's Barry the brick. The sidekick. Everyone in the chat's like, sidekick, the nerve. He is Barry D. Brickser. Yeah, just click on any of my videos for like a good 5 seconds and you'll see him hanging out there. Yeah.
What's it called? Animax definitely been inspired by One Piece to bring up his geography game for our light novel.
Yeah, for sure. We gotta get a map done too. I want to do that.
Remember my shitty drawing? We had to plan out like cities and stuff for later in the story, and I did a drawing. Oh my god, did it look bad?
Dude, Briggs and you guys, with the One Piece D&D that Rustage is doing, I asked him about like what website he used to make the maps. It's called Incarnate. It's really good. You have to like sign up for it and shit, but it's like you can make really good detailed maps like the same ones that Rustage uses for the D&D.
Oh
so
yeah,
if you're looking for like
that, that's actually perfect for like kind of what we need if we wanted to like just show people.
Honestly, I think you have to sign up. I don't know. You might have to pay. I'm not sure, but you could look into it. It's really Incarnate.
I
Yeah,
did
I would
actually
look
look
into
into that one. I did look into it, and you would have to sign up to get some of the features we need.
Yeah. But I think it's worth it. I'm gonna get it because I love D&D. I'm doing a campaign, but you could use it for other stuff too. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna stream for a little bit on my channel, twitch.tv/bcbriggs. Are either of you two interested in facing me in a game of chess?
Right now,
Yeah.
I've never won a single game of chess in my life, but I will give it a shot.
Let's go.